Hello everyone, this is Shikha, your English teacher. Today we are going to move on our poem number 2, Wind, of our book Beehive. The name of the poem is Wind, written by Subramania Bharti and translated from the Tamil by A.K. Ramanujan. So, little information about poet and the translator. Subramania Bharti was born in 1882 and died in 1921, and he is a great Tamil poet, famous for his patriotism in the pre-independence era. So the poem is basically written in the Tamil language, and then it is translated into the English language by A.K. Ramanujan. A.K. Ramanujan is a Kannada and an English poet and well known for his translation of the classical and the modern poetry. Before we move on to the explanation of the poem, a little introduction that what the poem is all about. The wind blows strongly and causes a lot of destruction, and how can we make friends with it? So the destructive and the friendly nature of the wind is shown in this poem. We all know that the poem is a type of natural phenomena that is present naturally. So in this poem, the poem talks about the powerful capacity, the destructive capacity of the wind, as well as the friendly capacity. So here the destructive power of the wind is linked with the adversities of the life. Adversities means when the conditions are not in your favor, they are opposite. In that phenomena also, you have to survive yourself. So the poet is saying the stronger people who emerge out of the adversities, means who remains calm and strong in the opposite condition of the adversities, they remains stronger, and only they can survive in the life, they can get the success in the life. But the weak peoples who are afraiding of the adversities of the life, who are afraiding the power of the destruction done by the wind, they cannot get success in the life. So the poem gives very important message here that we should be tough and strong, make ourselves strong in order to survive with the problems of the life, with the hardship of the life, and we should not present ourselves a weak person, so that any of the strong wind can come and fall down us. So this is the strong message given by the poem that will strengthen our determination and our strength. Starting lines of the poem: Wind comes softly, don't break the shutters of the windows, don't scatter the papers, don't throw down the books on the shelf. There, look what you did. You threw them all down. You tore the pages of the book, you brought rain again. You are very clever at poking fun at weaklings. Now here poet is addressing and requesting wind to come softly. He is saying to winds that don't come with a strong power, come softly and subtle, and don't break the shutters of the window. Now again poet is requesting the strong window that please don't break the shutters of the window, don't scatter the papers. Scatter is called to spread the papers all where, because the papers are very light in weight, and when the strong winds came, all the papers spread all where. So don't scatter the papers, don't throw down the books from the shelf. When the strong wind comes, all the books from the shelf they itself throw down and spread all on the floor. There, look what you did, you threw them all down. Now poet is showing the power of the strong wind, that look what you have done. The strong wind has done so much destruction. Now the poet is addressing strong wind and saying it to him that see yourself what destruction you have made. You tore the pages of the book, the pages that are not fixed very tightly in the book. When the strong wind comes, all the pages tear them out of the book. You brought rain again, means the strong wind comes and bring rain with it. So the strong wind with the rain comes, so again too much destruction happen. You are very clever at poking fun at weaklings. Weaklings are called the weak person, okay? And poking fun means you are making fun, you are enjoying by making fun. So all the strong things, all the strong people are not hurted by you, but all the weak things, all the weak peoples, they very much affected by you. And when you affect those weak people and weak things, you are making fun of them. Now you are enjoying. So indirectly the poet is saying, in the starting of the line, the poet is saying that the wind looks like a small baby that is coming very softly. But in the later lines of the poem, the poet is saying, then afterwards the wind is showing itself like a young boy or young girl who has so much destructive power in their mind, and who are having so much energy and violence in their mind. So in the later lines of the poem, the poet is saying that the wind is showing its violence as it become youth, and it is destroying the tiny plants, tiny children's, and all the light things which can be affected by it. So the poet is describing the soft and the strong power of the wind in this paragraph. Now, rhyming scheme means when the poem is having any rhyming word at the end of the sentence. So there is no rhyming word, the poem is written in free verse, means there are no rhyming words at the end of the sentence. So rhyming scheme of this poem is free verse. Now the literary devices, as I told you earlier, that literary devices are those element of the literature which makes prose different from the poetry. So poetry is assessed, poetry is analyzed on the basis of literary devices. Okay, so some of the literary devices is present in each and every type of poem. So here also the literary devices in this paragraph I have segregated. Anaphora, the first literary device is anaphora. Now anaphora is some thing when the word is repeating itself in the starting of the line, in the starting of the continuous line. Means like here, don't, the word don't is repeated in the continuous line, line number 2, line number 3, and line number 4. Don't break, okay, don't scatter, don't throw. So here you can see the repetition of word don't. So this is at, and this repetition of the word is starting of the lines, means the sentence is starting from the word don't, and all the three sentences are starting from the word don't. So the literary device will be anaphora here. Another literary device is personification. Personification, when we are making any non-living thing and as a living thing. So here poet is presenting wind as a living thing. Wind is a non-living thing. It cannot feel, it cannot touch, it cannot eat, it cannot drink or sleep. But even then, poet is addressing wind as you are. Poet is addressing this as it is a human being. So wind has been personified here. So the literary device will be personification. Another literary device will be assonance. Now assonance is the literary device when we are using the same vowel sound again and again in the same sentence. So here the use of vowel sound o is there. Now in the line you can see, don't throw down the books on the shelf. Now see how many times vowel sound o is repeated here in this line. So here assonance will be there. Now some new words are there. Poking fun means making fun of something, and weakling means a person who is weak. Hello everyone, this is Shikha, your English teacher. Today we are going to move on our point number 2, Wind, of our book Beehive. In these lines, we have the literary device repetition. Repetition of the word crumbling that is used many times. New words, crumbling means falling down, rafter is called sloping beam which support the roof of the building, and frail is called again weak. Next stanza of the poem. The wind god winnows and crushes them all. He won't do what you tell him. So come, let's build strong homes. Let joints the doors firmly. Practice to form the body. Make the heart steady fast. Now, winnows means when we are separating the husk from the grain. Grain means the wheat, the maize. They grow with the peel in the field. Okay, in the harvest, when the harvest comes, then grain, all the grains are with the peel. We have to take out the peel. So to separate the peels, to separate the husk from the grain is the process, and that process is called winnows. And steadfast is called firm, very strong. So the wind god winnows and crushes them all. Here poet is comparing wind and saying him that you are a god who separates husks from the grain, who separates peels from the grain and crushes all the husk, because husk is weak and grain is strong. So the wind crushes all the husk, all the peels. He won't do what you tell him. Now wind is not going to listen that don't create so much destruction, don't come so strongly. That will come, the wind will come with the strength, and the same as the problems will also come in our life, the adverse condition will come in our life. We cannot say them then don't come, they will come. So come, let's build a strong home. Now the poet is advising the readers that we have to make a home strong. The wind will strong will a strong wind will come, the adversities will come. Now this is our duty. We have to make our home so strong that it again cannot be fallen down by the strong wind. Let's join the doors firmly. We have to join the doors in the houses very firmly so that it cannot be fallen down by the wind again. Practice to form the body. Now the poet is again giving the indirect inspiration in a life, symbolizing the strong wing, that adversities or the problems or the troubles will definitely come in our life. We have to make our body strong, and we have to practice to make our body strong. Make the heart steady fast. We have to make our body strong as well as the heart firm. So the poet is saying that we should make our body so strong, and we have to make our heart so firm that we are ready to face all the challenges in our life. Whatever the is strong enough or the powerful condition or powerful wind will be there, we are not going to be shifting from a place. So whatever the condition will be there, whatever the troubles will be there, if we are strong, if we make the surrounding strong, that condition, that trouble is not going to affect us. First literary device in this stanza is alliteration. Alliteration means the repetition of the consonant sound. When the consonant sound, any of the consonant sound is repeating again and again in the same line, then there will be alliteration. Here in this stanza, repetition of the consonant sound, W is there. Wind, winnows. Here uses of W is at many places. Another line is won't, want. Again the use of W. So alliteration will be here. Another is assonance. Assonance means the repetition of the vowel sound. So the use of the vowel sound O is there in this stanza in the line. So come, let's build strong homes. Now use of O is many times here. So literary device will be assonance. Some new words from this stanza. Winnows means to break grain of chaff or to separate the grain from husk by blowing on it. And steady fast is called firm. First literary device in this stanza is alliteration. Alliteration means the repetition of the consonant sound. When the consonant sound, any of the consonant sound is repeating again and again in the same line, then there will be alliteration. Here in this stanza, repetition of the consonant sound W is there. Wind, winnows. Here uses of W is at many places. Another line is won't, want. Again the use of W. So alliteration will be here. Another is assonance. Assonance means the repetition of the vowel sound. So the use of the vowel sound O is there in this stanza in the line. So come let's build strong homes. Now use of O is many times here. So literary device will be assonance. Some new words from this stanza. Winnows means to break grain of chaff or to separate the grain from husk by blowing on it. And steady fast is called firm. Last lines of the poem. Do this and the wind will be friends with us. The wind blows out weak fires. He makes strong fires roar and flourish. His friendship is good. We praise him every day. Flourish is called to grow. So in this paragraph, poet is saying if we are making ourselves strong, we can be friend with the strong wind, because the wind is strong. If we are also making ourselves strong, we both can be friends. The wind blows out weak fires, because the strong wind, when the strong winds come, if the fire is weak, then it is blow out. Okay, and if the fire is strong, it cannot be blow off. So we have to make the fire strong so that it can roar, it can come out, and it can grow. Here, strong fire symbolizes to make our life strong. Means we have to make ourselves so strong that whatever the challenges are coming in our life, we will be ready to face those challenges. His friendship is good. We praise him every day. Means if we are doing friendship with the wind, with the challenges of the life, because the wind is also strong, all the challenges that comes in our life, they are also strong. So if we are making friendship with them, means we are making ourselves strong, because if we are friends with the strong person, then we also become strong, and we are going to grow ourselves more. And we praise him every day, means all the challenges, all the competition, whatever comes in a life every day, the strong wind, the power of the wind, we do praise them every day. Means we also praise a strong wind. So we have to make ourselves so strong that we can overcome the challenges of the life, and then one day we all become friends with them, because and we are also going to feel very happy. Why? Because these challenges in our life, whatever the troubles and the challenges that are coming to your life, they are helping you, because you are becoming stronger and better because of them. So the explanation of the poem finishes here, and the moral that throughout of the poem has been given, that we have to make ourselves stronger, we have to make ourselves more confident, so we will be ready to face the challenges, the adverse condition in the life anytime. The use of literary devices in the last lines of the poem. First is alliteration, the use of consonant sound W. Wind will be friend with us. In this line, use of consonant sound W is repeated many times. Another line is wind blows our weak fires. Again, the consonant sound W is repeated more than one time. So alliteration will be here. Next literary device is assonance, the use of vowel sound O. In the line, strong fires roar and flourish. The use of vowel sound O is there many times. So assonance will be here. Another literary device is symbolism. Symbolism is the literary device when we are making something and comparing something with the other thing. Okay, means we are giving the example of something and we want to make understand someone about something. Like wind refers to the challenges in the life. Like wind is the symbol of challenge. As a strong wind comes and do destruction, so as the challenges do come in our life and we have to face them, they also create destruction, but we have to face them. So wind is symbolizes as challenges. So this is the symbol of adversities in a life, opposite condition of the life. So wind is used as a negative sense here, in the form of challenge, in the form of adversities in a life, but they give the positive result, they give the positive effect by making us so stronger. New word, flourish, that means grow. After completion the explanation part of the poem, now we move on to the textual question of the poem. Question number 1: what are the things that wind does in the first stanza? When the wind blows violently, it destroys everything. It breaks the shutters of the windows, scatters the papers, throws the books down from the shelves, tear their pages, and bring along a lot of rain. So all the destruction made by the strong wind shows in the first stanza, that is given in different forms. Question number 2: what does the poet say the wind god winnows? The wind god winnows means that nature shifts the weak things from the strong ones. Everything that is weak is tossed by the powerful wind and gets destroyed. Just like the winnowers separate the grains of the wheat from the chaff, similarly the wind god separates the weak from the strong. So how the god is comparing wind to the god winnows? Because wind is having the ability to separate the stronger things from the weaker things. As the winnower separates the husk, the peel of the grain out from the wheat, and then the stronger wheat remain at one side, and the husk, that peel, that is crushed by the wind. Same as the wind also come and separate the stronger things and weak things. Whatever the weak things, they will fall down, whatever the stronger things, they will remain. So the wind is symbolizing the challenges. When the challenges come, the stronger and the weak person are separated. The stronger remains strengthened and face the challenges with the strength, and the weak person cannot face the adversities in their life. Question number 3: what should we do to make friends with the wind? We must make ourselves strong to face the violent wind. When we will be strong, the wind will not harm us. Instead, it will become a friend and helps us to grow and flourish. So, we have to make ourselves strong so that we are able to do the friendship with the strong wind. Why? Because if we are doing the friendship with the stronger one, we also become the stronger person. The last question: what do the last four lines of the poem means to you? The last four lines of the poem carry an important message that the strong people emerge stronger and victorious in the face of adversities. We must make ourselves strong like a burning fire which grows and flourishes in the violent wind. We also prosperous in the face of the challenges. So the moral, the essence of the poem is that we have to make ourselves stronger as the challenges are coming in the life. When the strong wind come, okay, and the fire is stronger, then with the stronger wind the fire became more stronger, it grows in the air and it flourishes more. Okay, the same as when the strong challenges are coming in our life, we have to make ourselves more strong so that the challenges can come to us and they are not able to affect us. We are going to stand face to face towards the challenges. So this is the main essence of the poem. So here I have cleared all the line by line explanation of the poem with the literary device, rhyming scheme and the new words, and thoroughly explained the question answer part. So that's it for now. We'll meet again.